Hi, this is Pearl and welcome to my channel. So today I have for you the new Chanel Ultrawear All Day Comfort Flawless Finish Foundation, as well as two new concealers. They're the same concealer, but I have them in two different colors. This is the Chanel Longwear Concealer. So this is going to be day one of my wear test. If you're interested in seeing how this wears on my oily, mature skin with major hyperpigmentation, then please keep on watching. Okay, so Chanel came out with their new foundation and concealer, and I thought I wanted to try it out. I'm always looking for the most perfect foundation and concealer, especially with all of my hyperpigmentation, because I do like to hide that. I have an uninvited guest right there. Hormonal acne sucks, right? But let's talk about this foundation. So I got this Ultrawear Lip Tint Foundation in B30. That's usually the color that I wear in Chanel. And this is a 24-hour wear with a soft matte finish. So that means it should be able to wear on my oily skin. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the Fresh Solid Liquid Primer like I normally do. I'm gonna prep my skin the way I normally would with any other foundation. So I'm gonna take a little bit of this, smooth that onto my areas where I am oily or breakout, or where I create more oil, which is basically my whole face. Then I'm going to take my Tarte Smoothing Primer, grab some of this and put this into my pores. I'll do a wear test for 2 days and see how this wears, and then continue wearing it for the rest of the month to see how this works on my skin. Then I'm taking the Becca Anti-Fatigue Under Eye Primer. Just going to put a little bit I will try the concealer without the anti-fatigue under eye primer as well, but I do like to use this, so I want to try it with this on. For the foundation, the Longwear foundation, it says to apply it with your fingers or a brush, but let's go ahead and look at this color. Oh, look at it. It's like a triangle-based foundation. It's got a frosted glass, and I think that's because it's a matte, soft matte finish. So let's go ahead and see how this works out. So that's the color. Oh, I think that's going to work for me. It says to use a finger or brush, so I'm going to go in with my Sonia G Jumbo Base Brush. I've been really enjoying this brush. Oh, it looks kind of peachy for me, doesn't it? But I can make this work, and oh, there it goes. Okay, this is a good color for me. Especially during the winter, I think it'll be good. Okay, so that's with one light layer. With and without. I'm going to take the little bit that I have left and put that on my areas of hyperpigmentation and see how that covers up. And it does a pretty good job, I think. Okay, let me do the rest of my face. And it does have a fragrance to it. Once I put the product on my face, I don't smell it anymore. But when I first put it on, I do smell it. But the fragrance dissipates very quickly. Okay, let me bring you in closer so you can take a look. This is kind of light for me right now, but I think in the winter it'll be perfect. That's how it looks on my forehead, around my eyes. It does feel like a soft matte. Okay, let's try the concealer. So I got the concealer in two different colors, in B20 and B30. So let me swatch this for you. This is B20, and this is the kind of doe foot applicator that it's got. This is B20, and this is B30. So this is supposed to be a long-lasting concealer that covers imperfections, buildable, light to medium coverage. So we'll see how that works out. I'm going to take B30 and put this on my areas of hyperpigmentation. So I don't know how this is going to work out with the foundation being full coverage, but it did do a pretty good job of covering my hyperpigmentation. But this is not a full coverage concealer, just so we know what to expect from this. And then I'm going to take B20 under my eyes and on my nose. I don't want to put too much. And for that, I'm going to just take my damp beauty blender and blend this under my eyes. Oh, that looks pretty good. Let me bring you in closer so you can see. It doesn't take away all the color, but it does look pretty good. Okay, this is a fast drying concealer as well. I should do one side at a time. Okay, let me bring you in closer so you can take a look. That's what my forehead looks like. I don't know why I have a line right here. So that's, I don't know what that is. But that's not the foundation, just so you know. And this is how it's covering my hyperpigmentation. The foundation did a better job of covering my hyperpigmentation than the concealer, but I do like how the concealer looks under my eyes. It is a light medium coverage, light to medium coverage. You know what, I'm gonna try taking some of this foundation, put it on my sponge, and let's see. I think I like the foundation covering my hyperpigmentation better than just the concealer. Yeah, I think the foundation does a better job of concealing than the concealer does. But I like it under my eyes. Okay, next I'm gonna go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder in Fair. Let me put that under my eyes. And I do like to use a Wayne Goss airbrush. And I just got an email from Beautylish that these are restocked. I didn't know they were out of stock for a while. Okay, for the rest of my face, I'm going in with my Huda Beauty Pound Cake. This is the powder I normally wear. Get some of this onto my face. I'm just going to stipple that on, not bake, but make sure that that goes in. I think this foundation is going to be a foundation for me where I like to put the concealer on first. I'll have to try that and see how that wears. Okay, so this is what my face looks like powdered. Let me bring you in closer. So this is what my forehead looks like. You can still see the hyperpigmentation around there. And it does look a little bit drying around the mouth. So well, we'll see how that wears too. But otherwise, I think it looks pretty good. Okay, it is 11 o'clock. I will put on my face and check in with you in a few hours to see how this wears. Okay, it is 4 o'clock. I've been wearing this foundation and concealer for about 5 hours. Let me bring you in close. Look at my forehead. It looks a little bit like it's settling into my fine lines right there. But I think otherwise it looks pretty good. It's wearing well on my face. Even around here it's looking good. And it doesn't look like I'm too oily. It didn't hide that too well. But otherwise I think it looks pretty good. It's just under my eyes that I think it's settling into my fine lines. Okay, I'll check back in with you in a few hours for the end of day one. Okay, it is about 8 o'clock, so I've been wearing this foundation and concealer for 9 hours. And let me bring you in closer. I think it looks great. The foundation is wearing well. I have not blotted. It is breaking up around where I had my glasses, and it does break up around my nose, but every single foundation I have does that. But the concealer and foundation wore really well over my skin. Now the concealer didn't hide this uninvited guest for very long, but under my eyes, I think if you're looking for a light medium coverage concealer, this is good. It did settle a little bit into my fine lines and wrinkles. Don't mind my mascara smudges. But I took a close look and it does settle a little bit in my fine lines and wrinkles, but otherwise I think it looks pretty good. If you're from a normal distance away, not in someone's personal space, then you can't really notice that, but I'm gonna keep trying it out and I'll let you know. So that completes day one of the wear test. Say bye.
And I'll see you next time. Peace.
Okay, today is day 2 of the Chanel Ultrawear All Day Comfort Flawless Finish Foundation and the Longwear Concealer. I wore it yesterday for 9 hours, so we're gonna try this again today. So I'm gonna prep my face like I did yesterday with the Versali liquid powder. You know I like to do this. And this uninvited guest won't go away. Going in with my Tarte Smoothing Primer again. Then my Becca Anti-Fatigue Under Eye Primer. And so today I'm going to try putting on the concealer first on my areas of hyperpigmentation only, and then putting the foundation on top, because yesterday while I was wearing it or putting it on, the foundation had more coverage than the concealer, because the concealer is light to medium and this is a full coverage. So I'm going to go in with my B30 and I'm going to put this on my areas of hyperpigmentation. Cover that up. And this has some peach color in it, so it'll help with the discoloration. And then I'm just going to use my beauty blender to stipple that into my skin. And I don't need to be precise with it because I'm going to be using the foundation on top. I'm not going to use a brush because I don't want to brush off the concealer, so I'm going to go in with the foundation and just put this on the butt of the beauty blender. And I'm just going to pounce that into my skin and see if this works better for covering my hyperpigmentation. And so far it looks like it's doing a pretty good job. Well, I think I like that look better. the way it looks better. Don't you think it looks better with the hyperpigmentation? Okay, let's just do the rest of my face. And this is what that looks like. I think it looks pretty good. I'm gonna see if I can put a little bit more foundation on my areas of hyperpigmentation, just a little dab, and see what it'll look like with another light layer. And I think it does even a better job. And so far it doesn't look cakey, so let me do this on the other side as well. Oh, I think that looks pretty good. Now I'm going in with the B20 concealer, and I'm gonna just use this under my eyes and a little bit right here around my nose. My nose is really red for some reason. And let me show you what this looks like up close. So far it looks really good on my forehead. It's a light medium under my eyes, so it doesn't take away all the darkness there. But I think it looks good around my areas of hyperpigmentation using the concealer first and putting the foundation on top. Let's go ahead and powder. I'm gonna go back in with my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder in light. And I'm using my Wayne Goss airbrush. Look, I'm almost done with this. And I'm gonna press that in and brush the leftover on my eyelid. And then for the rest of my face, I'm gonna go in with my Huda Beauty Pound Cake, like I normally do. Just gonna stipple that on. Not baking, just putting a lot of powder on there so it sets my foundation and my concealer. I don't have to wear a mask today, so it'll be a good test on how it would just wear on a normal day. So this is what it looks like. Doesn't that look good? I think that looks good. Okay, it is 9:45. I'm gonna go put on the rest of my face, and I will be back with the check-in. And I will be setting my face with the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray as well. So, okay, I'll see you in a few hours. Okay, it is, let's see, 1:45. I've been wearing this foundation and concealer for 4 hours, and look at how good it looks. It doesn't look cakey at all, and putting the foundation on top of the concealer really helped to hide or diminish the look of my hyperpigmentation. It is breaking up a little bit around my nose, but that happens, and where my glasses are because I've been editing all day. But I think it looks good. I'm surprised at how much I like this. Okay, I'll see you back in a few hours for my next check-in. Okay, it is around 7:45. I've been wearing this for 10 hours. So let's go ahead and take a look. My forehead looks good. Now under my eyes, the concealer came off a little bit, but my eyes were tearing, so I kept, wiping them. But right here, it looks pretty good too. It's not settling into my fine lines and wrinkles. Eyes are not looking as crepey as they could. I think it looks fabulous around my face. I'm really liking this foundation and concealer, and it's not looking cakey. It's looking a little, you can see my texture there a little bit, but I think that's just because I'm oily. So let's go ahead and take a blotting paper and take a look at this. It is breaking up around my nose, but it always does that. There's that, but let's go ahead and do this. And I don't feel like it emphasizes my texture, which is really good, even with my face being oily. So that's what it looks like after I blot. I really like this. See, once I blot, it doesn't emphasize my texture as much. I'm really pleased with this foundation and concealer.